Welcome back to the Viking Voice Podcast. I'm your host, Carson Carroll, here with our special guest, Tyler Jenson.
What's going on?
And today, we're going to be talking about the art of self-discipline and how to stay consistent with activities and goals and what you want to do in life. Pretty deep topic, so we're going to jump right into it. Sorry, I put these a little further away. They're very sensitive mics. Yeah. So, Tyler, can you tell us what you do on a regular basis? Like that, just like hobbies and activities that you do outside of school?
Yeah, so I'm an avid gym goer. I love going to the gym, working out, just weight training, really. I've competed and trained in MMA and jiu-jitsu. I'm giving it a break right now just so I can get back in the gym more. But I competed in MMA for a while, avid freestyle skier. I love hiking. I'm trying to get into mountain biking, but it's kind of expensive to get the bike and stuff, so that's the main things, really.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And how would you say those activities help you pertain to your goal in life? Like, what is your end goal with all these activities? Are they just for fun? Do you do them for a reason, just to keep yourself disciplined or, strong?
Yeah. For one, definitely the gym is to be stronger, just be more satisfied with my physique. Mm-hmm. It's just a very personal thing. But the rest of them are really more just about getting outside, getting more in touch with nature, just like the hiking and the skiing especially. Being out in the mountains is one of my favorite things. So getting outside, just really enjoying the world for what it is and what it has to offer.
Mm. And how do you think discipline, how do you think the average person should go about keeping discipline in their lives? Like, what should they do? Or what is a way they can keep themselves disciplined enough to pertain to going to the gym or going out in nature and doing these activities that normally they wouldn't enjoy doing? How do they take that first step and then stay consistent?
Well, for one, start off small. I think a lot of people try and, when they're first starting to get into it, they'll try to go 110%, which is just not good. You don't need to. Ease yourself into it. Don't go from 0 to 100. Don't go from couch potato to running marathons, Mm-hmm. You got to start small, start building up. Go to the gym first. Just feel it out. You don't need to be benching what these guys are benching. You don't need to be doing what they're doing. Do your own thing. Work. Just start making small and consistent steps towards whatever you're trying to do, whether that's the gym or hiking or whatever it is.
Yeah, no, that's a super big thing, definitely, because I've seen a lot of people go into the gym, right? And they're embarrassed to be lifting lightweight, right? Mm-hmm. I'll see dudes that can only bench the 25s, but they're like, man, I don't want to do that. I want to bench the 45s for half rep, because that's all I can do, And then that's just a quick way for people to see no progress, and then they just hurt themselves, and then it demotivates them even more. And yeah, that's definitely the hardest part, is the beginning. Because it's a new environment for you. You're right. Super nervous. I remember the first time I went to URJ, which for the people that know, it's a jiu-jitsu place thing, mm-hmm. dojo. It was super I'd never got anything like that before, and I was super nervous. Right. It was there's a whole new group of people. I have no idea what I'm going into, right? Mm-hmm. And then I stepped in there, and now I've been in there enough that I'm just I'll just go in there and I'm pretty chill about it, and I know what to do, I know what to expect, so. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that's definitely a big thing, is taking the first step.
Yeah, the first step is always going to be a little scary.
Mm-hmm.
But, what is life? What's the point of life if nothing's scary, Yeah. It's okay to be scared sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about keeping yourself accountable, making sure that you're actually making that first step. Because really that is the hardest part, is getting into something. So, yeah, push yourself out of your comfort zone, because it's just so much better, Mm-hmm. It was nervous for me going to the gym the first time. I was nervous going hiking for the first time, skiing for the first time, and those were my passions. If I never took that first step, I never would have found it. So
yeah,
the first step is always the biggest thing.
Especially for hiking for me. I love hiking now. Probably gonna go on another hike by the end of this week, right? But I remember it was about last year when I went on my first hike in a long time. And I was super nervous because my parents always told me to be careful, because they said rattlesnakes would bite me and then I'd probably die. And so I was always worried about that, but I've been on enough hikes now to know that that's not going to happen. Like the odds of that, I mean, it could, but like the odds of it happening are super low, and I'm just a lot more comfortable going out there now, and I'm definitely a lot more prepared.
Yeah.
Clearly, but
got a
yeah,
first aid kit.
Yep, because something happened, a certain event happened, I realized I needed that.
Yep.
So, definitely taking that first step. And how do you think discipline comes into all of this? Like, how can that help you stay consistent with these activities that are normally challenging for the average person?
Well, it doesn't really apply to hiking or skiing, really, because those are things you do for fun. You don't really need to be disciplined in that because it's something that you want to do.
Yeah.
I think discipline really comes into play when it's something that you don't want to do, but you should do it, like going to the gym. You shouldn't. It's not like you have to go to the gym, but there's really no downside. It's healthy. You're getting your body moving. Your mind is working at the same time. But it can be difficult just because you're tired or you're just feeling lazy that day. And so that's when discipline really comes into play, because for a lot of people getting in the gym for the first little bit, they have a lot of motivation, and so they'll be really motivated to go to the gym. Oh yeah, let's go to the gym. We're gonna go 2 hours. Yeah, let's hit chest and legs. Yeah, like let's do it all. But that fades away eventually, and then that's where the discipline comes into play, where you need to be able to say, it's okay that I don't feel like it. I'm still gonna do it because I said I would, And so, like with dieting, which is a big part of the gym, or just actually the working out, there's gonna be times where you don't want to do it, and that's when you really need that self-discipline. Say, well, it's okay that I don't want to do it. I'm gonna do it anyway.
That is definitely like a huge thing though that you bring up, is the dieting. I would definitely say I'd say for someone wanting to start building healthy habits and building discipline with themselves, I would definitely say the gym is a pretty basic and good place to start. Not for so much the lifting part, but the dieting. Because a good way to tell if someone is really committed to obtain these goals is the dieting part. Because I definitely noticed that a lot of people go to the gym, and they love the lifting part, and that's easy for them, but they make zero progress because they don't diet at all. Like they get like 30 grams of protein in a day and like 4 hours of sleep at night.
Yeah.
And then they see no results, and then that just really makes them lose the motivation.
Yeah, definitely. One of the main things that you'll start to learn that you'll start to learn in the gym once you get more and more into it is the gym actually, if you're trying to build muscle, get a better physique, lose fat, gain muscle, whatever you're trying to do, it's really not as much in the gym as you think it is. It's 30% in the gym, 70% outside. That 70% is diet, sleeping, and water. And that's 70%. If you want to change something in your physique, 70% of it is going to be outside of the gym. And yeah, like you said, it's definitely something that takes a lot of self-discipline to do, to like diet properly and stuff like that. So,
one of the most difficult parts I think for most people is actually this. Like I don't think it's actually the dieting part. I think a lot of people just have trouble sleeping enough. Like in my opinion, right? That's what I've seen, because like dieting, a lot of people definitely have trouble with that, but I feel like sleep is also one of the bigger parts of it.
Definitely.
Because people seem to like forget that your muscles don't actually grow right in the gym or when you're eating the food. It's when you're sleeping. That's like 98% of the time. That's when they grow. Right. And so if you get 3 hours of sleep a night, that's like you're losing out on a lot of gains right there. And that's going to be a lot of progress diminish. And so like people, like honestly, a good way to start honestly is just getting good sleep every night.
Yeah, definitely.
Like 7 to 8 hours of sleep is like that. Not only will that just improve your body physically, but also just mentally, and it'll just make you be like just have a better like work ethic and a lot of things, and motivate you a lot more, and you'll just feel a lot better.
And plus, even if you're not going to the gym, there's like no reason why you shouldn't start trying to make a habit of like getting good sleep. Because sleeping is one of the biggest things that you need sleep. We all hear it all the time, like, recommended 8 hours of sleep a day. There's no reason that you shouldn't like be able to get that. And you'll hear people like, I can't get this, I can't get that many hours. Like, why not? And then they'll start saying, I have homework, or it's just like, basic excuses that are just excuses. They're not like actual reasons. Like, okay, just get your homework done a little earlier. Don't put it off. That's it. But a lot of times it's just they sit on their phones and they just scroll all night, or they'll drink like a rock star at 7 p.m. and then wonder why they can't get to sleep, It's just changing these little things that'll just have big improvements on your sleep schedule.
Yeah. And another thing is that a lot of people don't realize how much time they have, to actually do things. Like there's 150, I might be a little off, but there's like 150 or like to 60 hours in a week. And you sleep about 8 hours a night, right? So that's 8 times 7. That's 42. No. That's 54. Wait, no, it's 56. Jesus, I'm stupid. It's 56. My bad. Right, and so that's 56 hours. That means you have over 100 hours of like time to do whatever. Like you have like over 100 hours in the week to do whatever. Say you have like work, that's minus 40 hours if it's full time. Then you have like 50 hours to do whatever you want. You have 50 hours of free time. Like if you think about it like that, 50 hours, you could get a lot done in 50 hours. Yeah. That's 2 whole days right there. So it's like,
and just wake up earlier.
Exactly, yeah.
And with that, I go to bed around like 9:30 to 10 every night, and I usually wake up around 5:30. That's when my alarm is set. So 5:30, get up, get ready, and I'm ready to go by 6.
Yeah, exactly.
And I have an hour and a half before school starts, so I can go to the gym, I can make breakfast, I can do whatever I need to do. I can catch up on homework if I need to. Like you really just managing your time and realizing how much time you actually have, and giving that time certain like. What's the word? Certain, I'm not sure how to say it. Just time management. That's it. Time management. Being able to like allocate your time correctly.
That definitely was a big problem for me, honestly. I had a problem. I remember like up until, I'd say this year, or like February, like I had a lot of trouble getting my protein in like while I was lifting. And so what I just started doing is I started working out in the mornings, right? So I go to bed like 8:30 to 9, and I wake up like 4:30 to 5-ish, and I just go to the gym and I get my workout then. So then I have the rest of the day to eat. And I'm not burning calories at all during that day, so I don't got to like think about it later, like, oh, I'm going to burn 200 calories. It's like I already burned them, so now I just got to eat like 400 calories. And now since I also wake up that early, I have a lot of time before school, so I cook like 5 eggs in the morning, right? So I get like 40 grams of protein, I get some calories in, I have a big breakfast, because I can prepare because I have that much time. And, people don't realize that little amount of time, like if you have 2 hours every morning before you have to go to work or school, like that can help a lot with preparation for the day and just getting you ready to go.
And then also after school, you got 6 hours.
Yep.
You say you go to bed at 8:39, 6 or 7 hours to do whatever, whether that's like, what do you do
after school?
Yeah.
Since I don't go to the gym, I usually either want like every 2 weeks or like routinely.
Well, you can,
I work. My fault.
Yeah, sure.
I have a job.
You can go to work.
Yeah.
You can do your homework. You can get ahead on work.
Yeah, you can read.
You can read a book. You can play some video games. You can do whatever you want. Like you just have 7 hours of your time.
Yeah.
Versus the like 3 hours that you would have if you just put off the workout till after school or something.
And especially with the internet, things like this have become a lot harder because, like, let's say back in like the 60s, you didn't really have much to distract yourself other than like television or like, the magazine. I don't know what they had back then. I didn't live back then. I don't know. Like those are like the common things that you think of, right? They didn't have social media to endlessly scroll. They were just sitting there. They would just sit in a chair, come home from work, and they'd be like, well, I ain't got nothing to do, and lawn needs to get mowed, so I'll just go do that since I got nothing to do. But now we have all these distractions, but also it's a good thing. Because, like, not the distractions, but, like, the social media and the internet, it gives us access to a lot of information, right? So if we want a question answered, just search it up. We don't got to go to a store and get a whole encyclopedia anymore, Or we don't got to ask around the townsfolk for, for what they think, Like, we can get answers on things now, so that's just super helpful. It's just people use it for the wrong things.
Yeah, it's definitely a double-edged sword. I mean, you can use it for good, and it can also destroy you, One thing about social media and just the internet in general, especially you see it really prevalent in the gym. There's a lot of like these
Influencers?
Fitness influencers that they only post their best pictures when they have a pump and good lighting, and they sometimes edit those photos to make themselves look bigger. And there's a lot of new gym goers like coming in and seeing these influencers, scrolling, that's all they see is just these like 1%, 10 out of 10 physiques, right? And then they start trying to compare themselves to that and just like, oh, I wish I could look like that. But I just, like, for that, you can never look like somebody, but you can look like you know? Mm-hmm. So if I was new to the gym, I saw a picture of, I don't know, who's a big one right now?
Influencer?
Yeah.
Sam Sulek?
Sam Sulek. Let's say I go to the gym, I want to look like Sam Sulek. Chances are, because me and him are just different people. We have different physiques, we have different genetics. Chances are I'll never be able to look like him. But I can look like me. And who knows, maybe I could look better than Sam Sulek, you know? If I took steroids, you know? But, like, that's another big thing. Steroids. People will pretend that they're not on steroids when they are. And then people will think that they can get this big without taking steroids, which just isn't true.
Exactly. It's like, why are you taking steroids if you're ashamed of it? Mm-hmm. And I was like, at least be open about it so then people know that your physique is unrealistic, you know?
And that's just like very one small facet of how, you know, social media and the internet can really, like, get in your head and kind of mess with your everyday life, you know? So it's definitely a double-edged sword. I'd be careful with social media, definitely.
But, yeah, just another big part of discipline and staying consistent is just you have to learn to do the things that you hate. Mm-hmm. And here's the thing, is that I heard, right, I'm going to bring him up, David Goggins, right? He said, right, that in order, like, one of the best ways to overcome being undisciplined is to imagine that you are, like, something, like, when you're laying in bed and you hear the alarm going off and you don't want to get out of bed, right? It's like you have to envision something more powerful than you that is projecting you to get up. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know exactly what he meant by it, like whether you imagine yourself as something else, something more powerful that, like, will just get up, or if you imagine something that's helping you get out. But basically, his point was just envision something that is stronger than you, because you're not it, and you gotta you're not it, so you gotta envision something that's beyond you, something that has every reason to get out of the bed, something that has every reason to go to the gym, something that has every reason to go on that mystical adventure through 70 miles of wilderness on a hike, you know? It's like,
Yeah, one thing with that is a lot of people, especially nowadays, it's very comfortable. There's not much in today's society that's uncomfortable, you know? Yeah. You go home, AC, you get your phone for entertainment or your video games or whatever. You're always comfortable, you're always entertained, right? Mm-hmm. So people aren't used to being uncomfortable, or they're not used to being, like, in certain adverse situations, you know? And with discipline, you just got to understand that it's okay. Like, it's okay to be hungry. It's okay to be tired. It's okay to be cold. It's okay to be hot. You got to keep working, you know? Mm-hmm. I mean, if a firefighter goes into a building and it's super hot, it's okay that it's hot, but you got to keep doing it.
You got to save lives.
You know? If you're trying to lose weight in the gym, you have to eat less. Oh, I'm hungry. Oh, I'm so hungry. It's okay that you're hungry. It's not the end of the world. The day's gonna pass. You're gonna go to sleep. Sun's gonna rise, and you're gonna do it again. You know, because, like, it's okay.
Exactly. Yeah, because, like, what you're struggling for is greater than the pain that you're, like, enduring in the moment, right? Like,
it should be.
Like, hopefully, I hope so. Yeah. Like, but even if it's not, like, you learn things through that suffering. Like, you adapt to those things, and then it either, you know, it makes you stronger mentally or physically, even if it doesn't give you anything in reward. You know, you come out better than you were before.
Exactly.
And that's what matters the most, I think.
And there's, like, all kinds of, like, small scale things where you can do that all the time. Like, if you're in the gym and you're doing a fail set, which is when you know, for anybody listening, it's when you do a movement until you physically cannot do it anymore, right? Mm-hmm. So if I'm benching and I'm doing a fail set on bench, I'm benching that weight until I actually cannot move it at all. Like, it's just stuck down, and then somebody will pick it up for me, you know? Mm-hmm. So with that, I mean, mentally, I could just stop. I'd be like, oh, this starting to hurt. Okay, I'm done. That was a fail set. But it wasn't, you know? You have to push through that. Oh, this hurts, but that's okay that it hurts. I'm going to keep going because I haven't failed yet, you know? Mm-hmm. That's just another example.
Yeah. And I remember you were saying something about the importance of like brotherhood, and just like, could you like elaborate on that a little bit? Because I think that's a really good topic.
Yeah, definitely. Especially nowadays, when everything is digital and everything is kind of fake, honestly, because social media, everything's planned, very meticulously thought out. You need brotherhood. You need natural brotherhood in person, you know. You need connections and relationships with like-minded people. If you don't have that, it's really tough, honestly. And I get that sometimes it's hard to find it, hard to find genuine connection, but that's one of the most important things that you need to look for. Like, I know a lot, like a big thing, I don't know if it's big anymore, but it was big, where it's like, oh, I'm a lone wolf, I can do it, whatever, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, if that's what you want to do, man, sure, but that kind of sucks.
Yeah.
You know, why wouldn't you want to have just like a group of buddies, you know? Buddies that you can trust. And I see a lot of people at school, especially school, have like a ton of friends, but really they don't have any friends. Right? None of them, they can't call any of those guys at like 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning and help like get picked up, you know? Their car broke down, they needed somebody to pick them up. And none of their friends would do that, you know? But like when I have a small circle. I keep it small because I know that I can trust everybody in that circle. And so if I give somebody a call, I know that they can come pick me up, you know? That's one of the biggest things in life, is finding connections and brotherhood.
Yeah. And yeah, no, I definitely agree with that. Like, I think there's a quote I heard from like BoJack Horseman, or Horseman, whatever. I think it's like some cartoon show about like a depressed horse, right? But I heard this quote from like the show where it's like, life starts to suck when you realize that everybody loves you, but nobody likes you, right? I think that has a lot to speak about like brotherhood, about like, what you said with like people who have a ton of friends, like they're like, yeah, everybody loves me, man, I'm like the coolest kid in school, but nobody really likes you, you know?
Right.
You get what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, no, I definitely think that that's like a super important factor for everyone, just a small group of people that you can trust and that you can connect with. You know, the cameras have been on, right? Okay. Like just a small group of people that you can trust and connect with and relate to that have similar like-minded goals. Yeah, and I mean, yeah, that's definitely one of the most important things in life.
And even if they don't have similar like-minded goals, I mean, even if like
or like Alden, a similar mindset.
Yeah, similar mindset, sure. Like me and Alden is bulking right now, I'm not, you know, and that's okay. And he might like Joe Biden and I might like Trump, or he might like Trump and I might like Joe Biden, you know, like stuff like that shouldn't draw people apart, because it's okay that people have different views, you know? I mean, that's another important part of life, but yeah, that's separate.
That's another thing, is being humble, right? With like other people's opinions and things. It's like people get too heated over the smallest things. I could walk into a college campus and yell or hold a sign like, I love Andrew Tate. And then so many people will come up to me just because of that, like, and they'll just like hate on me, right? And, you know, I just think that people need to like understand that they need that, like, their opinions don't like go over others, right? Just because you believe in something doesn't mean that it should overshadow like another person's opinion, right? Too many people have like this mindset that they're like the main character, yeah, and that they're him, you know, and they're like, what I believe should go over what this guy thinks because he's wrong, right? It's like, you're not. Like, people need to people just need to be more humble nowadays, especially with the advent of social media and how it influences people, especially. A lot of influencers need to learn that as well, because they be like yapping, right? and like, you know, they could have like those outlandish opinions, and they'll think that they're like right, but then, you know, like they probably aren't, or like, or could just be a super unsaturated, you know, misinterpreted opinion.
That's one thing that I really enjoy about hiking and skiing, is being out in nature, because once you're out in nature, you realize that all that kind of stuff doesn't matter. Whether you like Andrew Tate or not, it doesn't matter. The sun is going to rise. The sun is going to set. Nature is going to continue. The deer is going to eat, you know. The wolf is going to hunt the deer. Life continues, whatever you believe. If you think that Andrew Tate is awesome and I hate Andrew Tate, that's okay. Yeah. Because the sun is going to rise and it's going to set. And whatever we think, like, life continues, you know. Yeah.
That's something that took me a long time to learn, is just being humble and like not trying to. Oh, he's at the door. It's breaking in. And not like trying to not to try to. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, it took me a long time to learn to like be humble, right? I didn't really like Like, I would, like, look at people and I just wouldn't really like them for no reason, right? I would just assume that, like, man, I don't like that dude because he has curly hair. Right? But, I mean, you know, and it took me a while to learn that, like, you know, obviously you got to get to know people before you judge them, you know? And also, like, other people's opinions are just as important as yours, you know? If not more. It depends on how you think of it, but
If not more.
if not more, yeah, if you got a bad opinion. But,
right.
like, you know, you just gotta learn. That's a part of being disciplined. Is you gotta learn to be humble, right? That's very important.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Shoot, what was I about to say?
We gotta.
talking.
I mean, all right, we gotta wrap it up.
Oh, do we?
Yeah. Do you have any closing thoughts?
Closing thoughts. Just if you take anything from this, just know that it's okay. You know, whatever you're going through right now, whatever you're feeling, whether you're depressed or super happy or anywhere in between, it's okay. You know, this will pass. If you're depressed, if you're happy, I hope it stays happy. You know,
No, it'll pass.
But I mean, whatever you're going through, just keep working at it. You'll get through it eventually, you know, whether it takes years, days, minutes, months, whatever. Like, the sun will rise and the sun will set, and life will continue.
Yeah. All right. I think that's it. Thank you for joining us back on this podcast for the Viking Voice.
Stopped.
What?
It already stopped.
When?
I don't know.
Are you serious? Goodbye.